and welcome to WJER-TV. This is our last broadcasting before we go to Noel and Sam at CNN. Our broadcasting tonight will feature Jesus' resurrection and how the disciples of Jesus behave to his resurrection. Our first interview is with Pontius Pilate. Hello, Pilate.
Ah, you're here. The last week was hard. I had to choose between my job and sending an innocent man to his death. You see, I was just elected, and I needed to please my people. Jesus was brought to me for a reason. I asked Jesus a couple of questions. A couple minutes later, I looked at Jesus. He had this look that said, I can change my mind and not please the people. But his body language said, I should make my decision to send him. It looked as if he was following a plan of a loved one. I looked at him, then the people. I did not want to make my choice, so I sent him to Herod. Herod also found him innocent. Jesus was then sent back to me. I asked the people 3 times if they want Jesus. They told me they want Barabbas. To keep my job, I sent Jesus to be crucified. I was selfish. I know that now, but I needed my job. Every night, I dream about this event. I now realize that Jesus' suffering and death were acts of redemptive love so that we might go to heaven.
Thank you, Pilate. I am glad you learned that Jesus died for a reason, and that reason was redemptive love. Next, we have an interview with Mary. Hello, Mary, and what was your relationship with Jesus?
Oh, hello there. Is it that time again? Let me just put this water jug down. I refer to Jesus as my brother. I looked up to him so much. I remember the first time Jesus came to my home. Jesus was having dinner at my place, and when I saw him, I ran to him and I washed his feet with my tears and dried them with my hair. Then I placed oils on them. When I finished, he told me that my sins were forgiven. And he said, when he said this, I felt whole and new again. I also remember when Jesus was sent to his death. Jesus always told me to have faith. Without him, it was so hard for me to keep faith. I was no longer inspired. But when an angel told me that he had been resurrected, all of my faith had returned. Faith in the resurrection is a defining belief in Jesus. Every morning I refer to my faith in the resurrection. I believe Jesus' suffering, death, and resurrection is the heart of his saving work on earth. He came to save us from sin. This is the heart or goal of Jesus coming. These actions will one day save humanity, and the disciples and I are living in the faith of the resurrection. Thank you. Now I have to go water something.
Was your child killed by Herod? If so, you should buy this drug. You can place your child in here and it will have air to breathe and will be saved by Herod. Now, if you send a servant in 30 minutes, we will double the offer. Welcome back, viewers. Now we have the final 30 minutes of our broadcasting. And during these 30 minutes, we will have an interview with... Oh, hello there. I'm Peter. I was one of Jesus' closest disciples, and I can be considered his brother. See, one day, Jesus and I, and the rest of his apostles, were celebrating the Passover, when Jesus said, Peter, you're going to betray me 3 times before the cock crows. And I was like, Jesus, you're my like, okay. And so then, the next morning, I was asked, do you know this man? You're associated with him, aren't you? Yeah, you're one of his disciples. And all 3 times, I said no. And so then, Jesus died, and he had his glorious resurrection. I mean, man, it was just so beautiful. But now, I've realized that this resurrection is a historical event that transcends on history. And faith in the resurrection and just faith itself will be handed down from generation to generation until Jesus comes for the second time. And so, Jesus told me when he resurrected to build the church. And I was like, okay, you got it. So now I'm building a wonderful church that will one day unite all the Christians around the world. You see, and one day I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be in that one holy gate. And someone's going to ask, who built that church by that rock? And you're going to say, Peter did. Now, excuse me, I must get back to work so I can build this church in time. You might want to stand back. Splinters and sparks are coming your way. Well, sadly, this concludes our final broadcasting at WJER-TV. I personally love how Mary is so strong in her faith and that she just keeps continuing. And it really encourages me to follow my faith. And I love how Peter described how he was like a brother. Maybe I should see Jesus as my brother. Well, we will cover all these subjects next time at Noel and Sam at CNN at 6 o'clock.